Welcome to episode 2 of Skol Wayz podcast. I'm the homie A Woods. If this is your first time here, your first time checking out the episodes, first time checking out the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. And if you end up liking the video at the end of the video, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to grow the channel, trying to do all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Yeah. But like I say, we talk all things Minnesota Vikings, all things football. And right now we got a bit of a conundrum, bit of a situation with the quarterback position for the Vikings. I say it's a situation mostly because people think it's really a competition. And the team wants you to believe that it's really a competition. And I'm not sure I believe it. I think, you know, them saying it's a competition is going to get all quarterbacks involved, Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy, to go out there and put their best foot forward. But don't see it as a real competition, in my honest opinion. I think it's Kyler Murray's job. I don't think he would have signed here without knowing that it was his job. So that brings me to this question. If Kyler Murray is going to be the starter, what does that mean for JJ McCarthy? Does that mean he's the backup quarterback? Or is Carson Wentz going to be the backup quarterback? Because why would Carson Wentz come back without an opportunity to be that number 2 guy? Who's really going to end up being the backup quarterback is a question that needs to be answered as well. So let's just say hypothetically. Let's say hypothetically, we get Kyler Murray, starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in the year 2026. Then you get Carson Wentz as the backup quarterback. Do you roll with JJ McCarthy as the number 3? So that really was going to go down? Or will the Minnesota Vikings trade Jonathan James McCarthy? Right now, I'd say it's about 50-50, 50-50 maybe. What and what. It can go either way, honestly. Right now. But that's all depending on, how does Kyler look? How does JJ handle being put down a peg or two on the depth chart? How does he react? Is he mature about it? Things like that. Is this competition, quote unquote, is this competition just a way for the team to present JJ McCarthy as a viable starting option to raise his trade value? It's a lot of questions, and we won't get any answers anytime soon. Um, which is fair because if you're the team, you're trying to raise his trade value per se. You don't want to make it seem like you don't want him. You know what I'm saying? You want to make it seem like this is a real competition. We're real interested in JJ McCarthy. If he could beat out Kyler Murray and be the starter for the Minnesota Vikings, if he's improved enough, yeah, sure, there's a path for him to be the starter. I just feel like they're lying to our face, man. Which, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. Matter of fact, as I'm recording this, JJ McCarthy is talking to the media. So I'm going to watch this and I'm going to get back to y'all. Let's get up out of there. Get up out of there. All right. So, literally, as I started recording, they was doing the interviews for JJ McCarthy, then Kyler. See if we can find some tweets. Can't find nothing. Ain't nobody talking about nothing. Ain't nobody talking about nothing. Yeah, so you can you can kind of see the difference in the demeanor. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna put it up on here, but I was just watching the videos. If the audio is good, I'll put some of the clips up there from the interviews. But basically, man, JJ, they're JJ and Collar are in two different spaces, two different spots. Right now, Collar is a guy trying to learn the offense, trying to catch up with reps and master an offense while splitting reps. And JJ, on the other hand, is more familiar with the offense, has the concepts and the playbook more down than Kyler, but also splitting reps while trying to improve his mechanics and, you know, working on like different things like his touch on the throws, his layering the ball, stuff like that. So you got two guys trying to work on things while also competing with each other and splitting reps. So I wonder how long this competition is going to last. Is it going to go all the way until training camp? Is it going to go to the end of these mandatory OTAs? We'll see. If I know KOC, like I think I know KOC, which obviously I don't know him for real, but you know, if I know him like I think I know him, I think this is probably going to last until like week 3, the third game of the preseason. So it's gonna be a whole lot of splitting reps, quarterback competition, quote unquote. And yeah, it's just the ride that we in for. And like I said, I'm not really too sure how things are gonna play out, regardless of like who wins it. Obviously, I think Kyle is gonna win it. Obviously, I think JJ is gonna be well. Like I said earlier, I don't know who's gonna be the backup quarterback. Because if Kyler wins it, do you have my bad. My bad. If Kyler wins, do you have JJ back him up? Or do you have Carson back him up and you have JJ as the 3? That's I don't know. I don't know how you can go from competing for the starting job to being the third quarterback. That's just if that happens, that'll automatically tell you that this wasn't a real competition from the jump. So is Carson the 3? Is Carson cool with being the 3? He might just be chilling. You never know. But yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see. That's my thing. It's gonna be real interesting to see how it plays out. That's it for the quarterback competition. Next, we're gonna talk about Mr. Nolan Teasley and what his vision could be for the team. Stay tuned. Last week, the Minnesota Vikings did indeed hire Mr. Nolan Teasley as their general manager. Last week, he had his introductory press conference, talked to the media, gave the media some clarity about what's going to be going on and the structure of how the organization will be run. Last week, I said I believe that Nolan Teasley will work hand in hand with Kevin O'Connell and Rob Brzezinski, but from the looks of it, it's really going to be a Kevin O'Connell, Nolan Teasley thing with Rob Brzezinski being under Nolan Teasley, which, I mean, that's pretty normal. Yeah, that's how it goes. And yeah, Nolan Teasley will have the final say on the 53-man roster, which you want to have that clarity about who has the final say because you're not going to agree on everything. And when there's times there's going to be two different opinions, somebody has to be able to say, no, look, I get what you're saying, but this is the way we're going to go. And the final decision is mine to make. What are some things that Nolan Teasley should have at the top of his to-do list? Right? Obviously, it's the quarterback position. The quarterback position is the most important thing on this team. But we kind of have that situation in a evaluation stage. I'll say that. We got Kyler Murray, we got JJ McCarthy. We kind of have that situation under control as far as what we have, and it just needs to be evaluated going forward. Another issue, don't know if I'll call it an issue, but something that he has to address is Brian O'Neill. Brian O'Neill is on the last year of his deal. So an extension is most likely to happen, and that's where Mr. Nolan Teasley comes in. I'm not sure what it would look like, but obviously I think the Vikings would love to keep Brian O'Neill in the fold for years to come. He is 31 years old, but he's still playing at a high level. So you keep that right tackle secure, and we'll move forward with that. In my opinion, the second most important thing for Mr. Nolan Teasley to figure out, besides figuring out if Harrison Smith is coming back, and if not, then adjusting the safety room. Besides that, is edge rusher depth. You trade away Jonathan Grenard. Dallas Turner, you're up. Now, we also have Andrew Van Ginkel. You have Terry and Ingram Dawkins, guys like that. I don't know if they're gonna move him to edge. He's more of a hand in the dirt guy, but he leaned up a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what's the plan with TID, but we'll see. But still need to be addressed. We still need to add one veteran. Nothing expensive. No crazy names like that. I just think somebody else just to add some depth to that room. Because like I said, Dallas Turner, you're up, my man. But obviously, health comes into play. Uh, stuff like that. Just you need depth. Okay. You also have unproven guys, but guys that the team believes in, like Chaz Chambliss, Tyler Batty, Bo Richter. You got those guys also in the fold, but I think one more veteran in that room would help out tremendously. Gearing up for the season, getting towards the end of the offseason, there's a lot of things that need to be done still, a lot of questions that need to be answered, a lot of questions that will be answered in training camp in the preseason, and then some that will be answered during the season. How will this team fare? Who's going to be the quarterback? What are we doing about Brian O'Neill's contract situation? Stuff like that. Safety room. Is Harrison Smith coming back? Is he not? If he don't come back, what are we doing at safety? Stuff like that. But I'm still excited. Still think this team has a chance to do something. I don't know what that something is, but they can do something. I think Kyler Murray gives this team the best chance to win right now. But I also don't want to give up on JJ McCarthy. Don't know how the team feels, but hopefully they feel the same way. And yeah, that's it, man. That's the end of the episode. I don't know how long this one is compared to last week's video. I think last week's video was only 6 minutes when I finished editing it down. Hopefully this one is a little longer, but I'm gonna get better at these, man. This is my main focus is staying consistent. So the videos will get longer the more I do them, and get better the more I do them. But I want to stay consistent. I want to be able to hold up my word every Wednesday, have an episode ready to drop, and just talk about the Vikings, talk about the team that we love. Yeah, man. That's it. That's the end of the episode. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time as the lights go out on me.